Yeah, man. So I think this whole relationship thing that's the go. But I just wanted to use the song as like this was my motivation to want to talk about it.
What song?
The Big Sean song. That to me that's the lead in to be like. So I was listening to Big Sean's, I don't mess with you song, whatever. And then so this topic came to my mind and I want to talk about it today. Like that.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
that's the lead in part to get like why are we talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Because to go with it, I think it's also gonna compound on the concept of getting that investor mindset, not being a consumer. Here I am listening to this Big Sean song, and I'm thinking about finances in a relationship. He's talking about a breakup, but I'm talking about how did finances come into play with a breakup.
You ready?
We just doing the beginning part, right?
Yeah, this is all beginning. This is all snout.
Yeah. Okay.
This is all snout. Remember back in the day, they used to give us such a snout when we was on the plantation. They give us the snout and the intestines. So right now, this is all snout and chitlins.
That sounds like on my dad's side of the family. I know y'all remember him from last week. They was talking about how they just ate every single thing, and all they did was just scramble it, and they call it a day.
Yeah, just scramble it. This is all snout and chitlin scramble right now.
Just put it with some eggs, man. It's over.
We good to go. we got 8 minutes of snout. And we're going to leave this on the front of the podcast for you guys to suffer through.
Well,
no, I'm going to edit it. though.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit though. So kick it off, man.
But so I want to, we want to talk about just finances in relationships.
In relationships.
Man. Yeah. I feel like that's a heavy topic in this. It's almost, I guess, maybe we ain't got to it until this time.
Yo, it's gonna be a good one. Yeah, finance, because I got a lot to say, man. I'm really opinionated when it comes to this topic. And we've been going for 9 minutes almost in the all snout. Because we got to get ourselves together, people. We got to bring you statistics, stats.
Yeah, we trying to, facts. That's what we about. It's a numbers game. It's a stock market. We about numbers.
We're about numbers. So we got enough to cover. So all we need is the kickoff, and then we can start. Yeah. Because we already went over what we were going to talk about at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Ready to do this, CP?
You ready to do this, E?
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Eric, the Hip Hop Stock Doc from Black Market Exchange. Thank you for tuning in. You continue to listen to the podcast. We thank all the viewers. We even got international viewers. We touching in South Korea and Russia and Lithuania. We all over the place.
Man, we got people rocking with us in Lithuania, son.
Right. Spell it. Somebody, you spell it. Somebody type in the comments, spell Lithuania right now.
Lithuania, son. That's doing it big. And by the way, I am at Carter Park. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Remember to comment on YouTube. Check us out on SoundCloud. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, man, because we want to continue to bring you fresh and highly motivational commentary on a weekly basis, man. So what we got today, Hip Hop Stock Doc?
Man, so I've been, we talked about the whole title joint recently.
Yep.
So, you get the 30-day free trial. So, I hopped on.
So you checked it.
Let me check it out.
So, let me ask you a quick question, though. I've been hearing that the sound of it.
Well, it's a free trial, so I got the hi-fi sound, but I've been using some whack earbuds, so I don't know if I'm getting the full effect. But I did listen to a podcast from The Read called Title for Some of Y'all.
Yeah.
And they said a lot of people do say that the sound quality is way different. Even with the earbuds, it's even worse than if you have like Beats or something. Yeah. They say it's terrible.
Because I have a friend of mine who went ahead and signed up. He went ahead and paid for his subscription. So he went ahead and signed up, and he said,
when you sign up, you have they link it with your iTunes account, so they get your card from jump. So unless you cancel, it's gonna bill you in 30 days.
Oh, okay.
So you have to pay in essence from the get go. It ain't like They say once your free trial is up, we're gonna get your card info. They take it directly from iTunes.
Oh, okay. So that's how they do it. That's how they do it. Okay, but yeah. So he said that the sound quality was so much greater. He was like, "Yo, this hi-fi," and I kind of shout out to him, man, P Moore. I kind of what words I'm trying to say? I kind of equated it to CD quality, because I know that's what Jay-Z was saying. He was saying something about CD quality, right? And we're growing up with a generation who has never had the opportunity to really their ears to mature on CD quality.
Bro, when I was in pharmacy school in DC, like people used to talk about me because like in my car, I mean I got a CD changer, so a lot of people they try to Bluetooth and all this other stuff like that. But I'll put CDs in the car. I'll make CDs for one on one here or CDs that I bought and I'll listen to them in the car. And people are like, who's listening to CDs?
Me.
And I'm just like, the quality is better. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the quality is so much different. So when you hear Tidal for All and you hear it in hi-fi, you're like, whoa, the quality is different. But, you know, I think I'm pretty sure that Jay-Z mentioned, like, he was trying to get back to that CD quality from the stream. You know, so
it's almost like when you listen to vinyl. You know, you want that grittiness on purpose.
Yeah,
you know
want that. You want that sound because that sound cannot be duplicated or replicated on any other sound source. So that's something that you actually want, and I think that's gonna drive a lot of people to come to Tidal for the actual sound, for the clarity, for the actual sound that you get from a stream versus the sound you get from all the other streams that are out there, you know.
Yeah.
When I say from a stream, right, because the sound has to be actually compressed, right, when it's coming through your computer or whatever kind of device that you're listening to it on. But if you're getting a hi-fi sound through there, then it kind of equals itself out, you know.
Yeah, and they also have where, you know, the whole exclusive content. So they have this email service. I done got an email every day from Tidal since I signed up.
Well, so
basically they'll say, you know, Rihanna has a new video and song. See the video exclusively on Tidal. Now I was looking at this
Beyonce had one too, right?
Well, I was looking at this Facebook page and it actually said something about the Rihanna video, but I didn't look at it, but it seemed as if like they had the video like they was gonna like they posted it. Cause I should have looked at it because this goes back to what I was saying about the whole piracy thing. And I was thinking like, did these people get that video that fast?
Yeah,
I just got it yesterday.
There's no Tidal for All. That's Tidal for me.
So
I'm gonna rip it and put it on my Facebook page.
So what they do is they send these emails out and it'll say, here's like, here's 2 pieces of exclusive content and then here's something else. And what they do is they have these curated playlists. So you know how like you go on Pandora and you can type in currency and basically currency songs or currency related songs.
You can make a station.
Yeah. Okay. And a lot of times, you know, you think like Bobby Womack, you like, how you got a station? He ain't even here. Like, how you got a station?
Yeah.
So, well, with Tidal, people are making it. So in the email, it had Robinson Cano from the Seattle Mariners, and he was like, this is my warm up mix that I make or whatever during spring training. And it had like a little write up. I guess they're saying it's from him, and it's basically a mix that he made. So that's what they're saying.
On the side note, isn't Robinson Cano signed with Rock Nation Sports?
Yeah, you right. I forgot about that.
I just wanted to throw that in there because he signed with Rock Nation Sports. See how they kept that in the family right there?
Yeah, man. We all eat.
So man, so you're into this Tidal thing, and you were listening to this Big Sean song.
Yeah, you know everybody knows that I Don't Mess With You track.
I don't.
You know, you heard of it. You might not have heard the song, but you heard of it.
I heard of it, man. But in actuality, I've never heard the whole song because I don't know. I just don't. Come on, people, don't kill me. I don't feel Big Sean like that. I'm not really a fan of his. You're
like an enigma right now or something like.
I'm an anomaly.
Like I think everybody like knows this but you. Like
but I really don't. I've never really been into his music like that. So you know, I know what the gist of the song is. So he had a
basically, you know, the song was about a breakup he had with a chick. Everybody even knows about it because it was real public.
Yeah. So was it Selena Gomez?
No, I don't think he wasn't with her, man. He was with some other Selena Gomez.
Yo, he was with some chick that was on the.
That was Justin Bieber. That was with Selena Gomez.
But he was with some chick that was on the.
She was Latin, but I think she was Latin. I can't remember, but she was like from a kiddie show.
No. She was on Glee. My bad. My bad. Glee.
But she was like on a kiddie show a long time ago.
Yeah.
But she was on Glee.
Okay.
Yeah, or she is on Glee, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's on Glee. Okay, so that's where she's from. I don't even remember her name. My bad, man. The old man is in here, man. Come on, son. I can't keep up with
is about
relationship.
Like the whole breakup thing. Like he just saying the whole thing. And so in the song, he says, "Forget your 2 cents if it ain't going towards the bill." And so listening to it's funny because I'm over here listening to this song and I hear this line, and I've heard this many a times, but I never thought about this aspect because I guess I was thinking about it as a consumer. I was like, let me put my investor cap on real quick, my finance hat, and I was like, so this song is about a breakup, and then he's talking about keep your money unless it's going towards the bill.
Okay,
and I was like, we should talk about relationships and finance.
We should.
You know, whether if it's budgeting, investing, paying bills, whatever it is, I feel like we should touch on that.
Oh, you know what? Relationships and finance is so important. And we're going to dedicate the whole hour to that. That's right.
Buckle up, get your popcorn, whatever you need to do.
Buckle up, get your popcorn ready. The El Camino has pulled up outside. The DeLorean is right behind it. We are going back to the future, son.
Forgive us, ladies. Of course, it's 2 gentlemen here, so forgive us, ladies, if we don't get your POV.
Yeah,
you know.
So it's 2 gentlemen in here. So, but I'm going to try to be as clear cut and across the board as I can. Right. So when we talk about relationships and finance, relationships end because of finance at a rate of about 50%. And when I say relationships, let me actually clarify. I mean marriages, right? Mm-hmm. So what's the stats on how finances affect the divorce rate?
Well, so we have this stat. This is actually from 2013. The divorce rate for marriage is 50%, and the for divorces, 50% of that is because of finances.
So
wait a minute. We already at every 2 couples, one is getting divorced. We already at a
wait a minute. Rewind Hip Hop Stock Doc. You got to say that again.
Okay,
everybody not got that because I didn't get it.
So 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Okay, so half of them end in divorce.
50% of those marriages end in divorce because of finance.
Okay, so we're at 25%.
25% of all marriages as a whole end in divorce because of finances.
And that's a staggering stat. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, we already had a C. For marriage, that's 75%. We had a C.
Why do you think that is, man? Do you think it's people, they are failing to adequately advise each other of one's financial situation?
I think it's people coming with baggage and they ain't being upfront about what the deal is.
Because some women want your credit score.
What? Yes.
Do you,
sir? No, my mom straight up. I want to see all 3 numbers. Okay, like my mom would be real with it.
Your mom want to see their credit score?
My mom would be straight up with it. You better get that number.
So
that's just as important as being tested for like an STD. Like that's right there.
Well, wait a minute. Before you get my credit score, can we find out if we're going in the same direction? Because we might not be on the same freeway right now.
Yeah.
I think that, but I think that does play a pivotal role in the finance. I mean, in relationships breaking up due to finance.
Yeah.
Because if you have 2 people who are going into a relationship and they're not totally honest about everything, it's going to hurt the relationship and hinder it as well. So imagine if you go into a relationship and you're not being totally honest about finances, right? Mm-hmm. So you have $100,000 in student loan debt, and you don't tell your partner.
Yeah, you gotta say something about that.
You gotta say something about that.
I mean, at least student loan debt is what they call good debt, which I don't. It's like an oxymoron. I don't know how you get good debt. Well, that's what they call it.
Well, they say that because they figure that you're investing in your future, i.e., black market exchange. Mm-hmm. We promote investing in your future. So that debt is considered a debt that you took on to invest in yourself.
I just don't think they should call it good debt. They should call it not as bad debt. Like you change the verbiage in there.
Well, it's better than having $100,000 in credit card debt.
I mean, definitely.
It's better than that because they figure that if you have $100,000 in student loan debt, right, then you're going to go out in the workforce.
You have plans to pay it.
And you got plans to pay it back. If you got $100,000 in credit card debt, they're like, yo, this person is spending. This person is spending mad dough.
Just reckless.
Right now. Just reckless with it. So the first thing I think that everybody needs to actually do when you're getting ready to embark upon a relationship, I think that financial honesty should be one of the key factors in deciding who and where and when you decide to have a relationship with somebody. Because if you guys aren't upfront with each other and the relationship starts to progress and it progresses into a marriage, guess what? I don't care what you try to hide. If you're living with someone every day, yeah. Dude, it's going to come out.
Boy,
it's going to come out. Man. And either it's going to come out at the beginning when you can lay all your cards on the table, or it's going to come out at an inopportune time, such as, i.e., when y'all getting ready to have a baby and you pop out the oh, baby, I got $100,000 in student loan debt.
Now we both married, so trust me, y'all. Everybody gonna know. Everybody gonna know.
Yeah, that's.
And if you don't think they gonna know, wait till that convo about are we gonna have a joint account? Wait till that convo.
Yeah. So wait a minute. Okay. Do you think that couples should have a joint account?
We do.
We do too.
I didn't even argue it. Like I don't knock anybody that doesn't, because everybody's situation is different. Because it was funny because initially, this is actually the way we work. We kind of got it two ways. We have a joint account where we pay all the bills from, and then we have our separate accounts. So we say all the money goes into the joint account, and each of us gets so much money from the joint account because we still want to do stuff. And what if you want to do something for your significant other? You don't want them to know about it. You kind of need a little extra to do that.
Yeah.
But it's not a substantial amount to where it's like you get buku dollars. It's enough for you to kind of get by. You just
withdrew 2 G's, man. What's wrong?
And the way it works is that your money is paying off your bills, but most of the time when you married, that's your best friend. You doing stuff with them all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So you end up paying from the joint account. When you go out to dinner, who paying for dinner? It's out the joint account anyway.
That's right.
That's why I say it's not that bad. But I don't knock people that have separate accounts. Whatever works for you, as long as y'all have an understanding. I think that's the key thing is the communication.
Well, I kind of agree with that. If separate accounts are working for you, then that's fine. But I kind of side I'm on this side of the fence. If you guys are in one household, you're spending the same money. So if you have one account, there's less likely to be any hiding of the funds. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So one person, and it also gets you out of the mindset of thinking, okay, this is my money and that's your money.
Yeah. That
causes a lot of problems, because what if one time you have an instance and you need some money that you don't have readily available in your account. You go to your significant other and you say, "Oh, can I have this?" And they say, "Don't you got some money in your account?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "No." And then, "Why don't you have any money? You just got paid." And then, okay, guess what? Argument ensues. We have 4 accounts, not including our investment accounts, but I'm talking about like a checking, 2 check-ins and a savings, like one check-in to pay the bills out of, one check-in to just keep cash on deck, and then the savings
It's
account.
like Schnooks. I ain't seen a Schnooks in forever.
On a side note, we watched.
But you know what? This is St. Louis, because when I lived in St. Louis, I remember we used to go to Schnooks.
yeah. We watched the Sweetie Pies, by the way. You guys should check that out. Shout out to Oprah, man. We should support Oprah not because she is a person of color, but she has a lot of good quality programming on her network. Shout out to Oprah. I love Oprah.
I didn't mean it comes so random with that,
Yeah,
but I was just blown because I ain't seen the Schnooks in forever.
So, we just found it better if we can pay our bills out of one account, we can keep cash on deck in the other account, and we can keep our savings. We both have access to both accounts. We can always check it. We always know what's going on. We have I can't remember a time we've had an argument over money, because the other one already we already know what's going on with the money. Me and my wife, we haven't had that argument over money, because if she's like, oh, you know, what's going on with this, she can just see it, you know.
It's on a statement.
It's already there. So, but if it works for you to have 2 separate accounts, then you know that may work for you. But I just kind of see a lot of problems, you know, arising from that situation, you know, and that may lead to the arguments that ultimately lead to you saying I can't stand this person, that ultimately lead to you getting divorced, you know, because if 50% of marriages are ending in divorce, then guess what? Out of those 50% of marriages, 25% of those marriages, it is the root cause is over finances. So first of all, number one, when you come into a relationship, be open and honest about your finances. Don't be ashamed of anything, because if you're ashamed of something that you have and you feel that you can't share it with that person, that might be the first, you know, issue right there that you need that might be the first stumbling block that you need to get over. Because if you're open and honest with that person, then you're going to be able to be open and honest with that person continuing. You're going to be able to continue that. If you start off that way, then you'll be able to continue that. If you start off hiding stuff, trust me, you're going to end up.
It's going to go over into other stuff.
It's going to go into other stuff that you do, and that's just being honest with you. The second thing is to clearly define what your finances are going to look like. When you do decide to get in this relationship, right? So, say for instance, so you said your mom checks out their credit score. So what if they got a low credit score?
You gotta understand. See, they heard me say all 3. You understand? You got 3 credit scores. Out here, okay?
And they different.
Exactly.
Different. You got TransUnion, you got Equifax, and you got Experian.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? Side note, guess what? You don't need to go to freecreditreport.com. You don't need to go to get my credit score, all that. The government issues you are entitled to a free credit report from all 3 of the major credit bureaus every year, once a year. Go to freeannualcreditreport.com. All one word. You don't have to pay. That is freeannualcreditreport.com. And that's free, and you get all 3.
Yeah,
you should take advantage of that.
And you need to do it once a year, and
once
do it
a
at
year.
the same time every year, just to see where you at.
Yo, we just got ours, man. We just got ours, and you know that just helps us see where we're at. You know, we keep an eye on that, and then it also lets you see erroneous items that show up on your credit report.
Yeah,
you know, that pop up every now and then. And I know you see a lot of these ads for get your credit report and get your credit score, but they also require a credit card and all these other sites. I'm not going to even give them light of day, but I am going to give this one light of day. Freeannualcreditreport.com, because that's a scot-free, that's guaranteed by the U.S. government that you can get your credit report from all 3 major credit bureaus once a year. You can do that, and it's totally free, man. So on that note, you guys should, you know, check that out. But yeah, so make sure that you know what your financial picture needs to look like with your partner, Because if you guys are on two separate pages, so if you got somebody that spends all the time versus somebody that saves all the time, that you guys clearly need to get that out in the open, so so you can learn how to regulate. That's word to Warren G.
And a lot of times, I'm not saying this is every time, but a lot of times in relationships, one person is definitely a better budgeter than the other.
Yeah, so my wife is a better budgeter than me.
And honestly, my wife is too. On average, women are better budgeters than men.
Shout out to the women.
We can go to the grocery store. She'll have on the budget, we're going to spend $80. Bro, when I tell you we get to that register and it says 78, 90, I'll be like, how did you do it? Like, it's like every single time.
Yo, man, how she come up with that
man,
budget? I never spend $80.
I keep telling her she need to do that as a business, bro. And
never
what it is that's we
least.
get paid every 2 weeks, so that's every 2 weeks. And on the off week, it's incidental, so she factors in like another $20-$30.
Mm-hmm.
As incidentals, and that'll like make up the difference. But that's when you do that, like you would think a lot of people spend like crazy money on groceries, and you probably don't even have to if you get the right stuff. And then when we have family come in town, they be like, y'all ain't got nothing in your fridge because we eat everything that we buy.
That's
like,
right. That's right. We don't need any extra. And me and my wife, we have 2 children, so we have 2 constant gobblers. They run through groceries. I'm telling you, they run through those things. But painting a good financial picture with your mate is paramount, because you guys want to be able to paint that picture, but you want to be able to paint that picture together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to find out where they are financially. You want to be somewhere on the same platform with them financially. Even if you're on 2 different platforms, right? You want to say, hey, this is where I'm at, this is where you're at. Okay, do you feel like we can meet somewhere in the middle? And that'll help you better navigate the financial road that you guys are going to come in contact with as you go and start on your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So another statistic that really, really, really got to me is the statistic for African Americans. So break this statistic down. Sorry, guys.
So we have, this is actually from 2010.
So in 2010,
it has roughly 49% of black men are never married, compared to 45% of African American women, and that was actually up from 2008.
Okay, now before you go on, repeat that one more time.
It was 49% of African American men are never married.
That's almost half of African American men are never married,
compared to 45% of African American women, which is almost half as well.
And then compared to the other races.
So when you look at the other races, you have 51% are married.
51% are married.
Of other races.
Only in all the other races.
And never married is 30%.
So they're roughly 20%
less.
Mm-hmm. And let me put this out here. Marriage helps you financially. It does. There's tax benefits. There's two incomes. There's rights that you get from that marriage, right? That help you financially.
And I also think that it just keeps you grounded in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to think, especially when you have kids, you got to think like, I can't do that like I was doing the last time.
I can't buy them LeBron.
Yeah, man.
And you know what? I'll tell you.
The last pair of J's I bought was the Bread 11s. I think they came out in 2012, Christmas 2012. That was the last pair of J's I bought, man.
Yeah, that was, I can't remember. I'm going to plead the fifth on the last pair of J's I bought.
Nah.
But I did get them on sale.
But the fact that I know that, like, that should tell you something. It keeps you grounded.
It keeps you grounded because you can't come in the house, right, and you're a father, right? Okay, let's just take it for the father's point of view, right? Because me and the Hip Hop Stock Doc, we're 2 fathers. So this is the only point of view that we're gonna have, right? I feel like if I walk in the house with a $225 pair of shoes and I look at my wife and my 2 kids right there, I feel like, yo, I'm not on my fatherly duties, right? That's $225 I could have invested into their future, you know? I bought my son some Jordans for his birthday, right? And I waited till they went on sale. They went on sale. They were $39, and I was like, "Yo, I can spend $39 for you, but I can't spend $80 for a little kid to have some shoes on his feet that he's gonna scuff up. I can spend half of that, which is $39, but I can't spend $80 for some shoes on a little kid's feet just to say he has those shoes, you know." And I think that my wife and my children appreciate that. And when you look at those statistics, that's like half of the population of African Americans that never get married, that never see those tax benefits, that never see the even in home ownership, right? African Americans are the lowest in home ownership, and you know when you go to buy a house, right? The underwriter looks at not only your credit, but they also look at your ability to pay, right? And if you're married, that helps you get that home better than if you're single, because they look at that and they say, okay, they weigh their options. That underwriter says, you know what, there are 2 incomes, right? So if something happens to the other one, somebody else can pick up the slack, you know. And I think that a lot of people have got out of the notion and saying it, okay, 50% of they stick with that 50%. They say, well, why get married? Because 50% of marriages end in divorce. But go back to that stat and let me tell you how that works out for people of color, right? So if 50% of marriages end in divorce, what's the marriage rate now? What's the now married for African Americans? What's that?
So we're at now married is at 32%. So if 50% of that end in divorce, we're looking at 16% of African Americans being married. Staying married, right?
Yes. So you have to look at it for what it is. When you hear the stat, when you hear the stat, 50% of marriages end in divorce, you have to look at it for your demo as well, and you have to say, okay, how does that factor into my finances? So if 50% of marriages end in divorce, but only 32% of African Americans are getting married, guess what? You're down. You're not at 50%. You know, you're down to 16% versus other races now married, they're at 51%.
Yeah.
They're at 51%. So if and half of that 51% is roughly 25. Like 25.5, something like that, right? So there are the statistics. Roughly 16% of African Americans stay married versus 25% of all other races, right? So that affects the finance and that affects economics, right? So when you're looking at your relationship, you're saying, okay, what does this relationship not only do for me, but what does this relationship do for the person whom I'm in the relationship with? Because I don't think a lot of people look at that. I think they just say, okay, I'm happy, I want to be happy, I'm in a relationship. But you have to think about what that relationship does for the other person as well, and what it does for you guys together. Because when you're looking at that, you say, okay, this relationship not only helps us and makes us happy, but it also can make us financially secure for the rest of our lives. Are we thinking about only ourselves, or are we thinking about our children's children? You know?
Yeah, that's that forward thinking, and as you said, investing in yourself, as you say, you know. And I mean, marriage is a bond with God. So at the same time, like, you're supposed to be in it to win it. You know, like, I mean, I understand stuff happens, but the goal is you're supposed to be in it to win it, and, you know, and work it out. And I feel like if finance is such a heavy component that can aid in divorce, like I feel like that's something that should be easy to work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
finances.
Like if it was something like adultery or something,
Yeah.
I feel like that's more of the issue than finances.
But you have people that you know, to the last minute will not be honest about their finances. Just won't lay it all out there and say, you know what, here's my finances. When me and my wife first got married, my finances were in a shamble. And hers were great.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me out with my first car. She helped me to actually start building credit. She helped me to actually start save. And I thank God to start saving. And I thank God for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because without somebody that knew about finances, because I didn't know about finances. I used to pay my bills with money orders. And she was like, yo, you write a check for that, right? Yeah, I used to do that. I used to pay my bills with money orders. So I was paying this financial institution like $1.
Right, to make the money order.
To get a money order, right? And then she was like, you know, you can actually write a check for that, you know? But it helped me out, right?
Yeah.
Because the key component to that was I was open and honest with my finances with her. You know, I wasn't trying to say I had a 720 credit score when I knew my credit score was 250. You know, I wasn't. Now I'm not saying my credit score was 250, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to say that. I wasn't trying to front like I was something that I was not. I was like, here I am, babe. Take me as I am. And she was like, okay, I take you as you are. Now let me help you get to where you need to be.
And as a dude, like you got to put your pride to the side, man.
You gotta put your pride to the side.
I know the fellas out there probably like, man, I ain't trying to do all that. You gotta put that pride to the side because, to be honest, women are just better with budgeters with like they're just better with money.
Yeah, from my run-ins with them, they're better than money. You know, and some dudes are, because I have a brother, and he is good with his money.
I mean, even if you think about a lot of these dudes are probably thinking like a lot of these women are gold diggers now. They're becoming socialites and stuff, and you know what I'm saying. But you gotta think about it. Like a lot of these women are probably pocketing some of that money and doing something valuable with it. Because now those same women who was just like kind of the girl on the dude's arm is like they doing shows and appearances now. Like what? How did that happen?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like they built themselves up.
Yeah, they getting an appearance fee now. They're like, yo, I'm hosting a party now, and I'm doing my thing.
While you was slacking over there.
While you was slacking, I'm hosting a party, man. My party game on fleek. Get money from all sides, man. But I think that when you look at finances and you look at relationships, right? Just going back to the Big Sean song, it can cause somebody to say the title of his song. I'm not gonna say it, but it can cause somebody to be like, yo, I don't mess with you because you're not, first of all, you're not being honest. Second of all, we're not on the same financial page. Third of all, we're having arguments about money that can easily be rectified if everybody would just get on the same page financially. Because in order to invest in yourself, you have to invest in the person that you're going to be with. I'm sorry. If you're going to have somebody in your life, you're going to have to invest in them, right? Because if you don't invest in them, this is going to hurt your financial future, right? So if, say, okay, just use me for an example. I'm married and I know, and I'm an analyst, right? But I don't tell my wife about important financial stuff. Like, hey, babe, I think we could save more money if we go with a mutual fund than doing this. If I just say, hey, I'm not going to share that info with her, Yeah. That would be ridiculous. It wouldn't benefit me either because I'm in the same household with this person.
And I think that, we talk about finances and the key is, of course, we talk about the budgeting and stuff like that. But the investing side is just as crucial because you got to be on the same page. You can't have one person looking to, trying to build wealth or something like that, and the other person is just like, nah, like, we need to go do this.
We need to go buy some.
You got to be on the same page.
Go buy some red bottoms or Oh man, we need another.
I mean, if red
plasma
bottoms is in your budget, that's fine. But
Yeah.
don't be spending it if you could have done something else with it.
And look,
And a lot of times, even if it is in your budget, you probably still could have done something better with
and
it.
that segue to one of the greatest things you're gonna ever hear from me and the Hip Hop Stock Doc. Know what your budget is. Know what you can and you can't afford, right? The car you drive should never be over 50% of what you bring home in a year, right? Just because the dealer says you can afford it doesn't mean that you should buy it. What kind of car you got? I'm gonna put you on the spot. The Hip Hop Stock Doc is a doctor. What kind of car you drive, man?
F-150.
I'm an analyst. I drive a GMC Terrain. Bing, bing, bing. The light should go off, man. The light should go off, man. If you're sitting around, let's say you're making $100,000 a year, and that's great. That's good money, right? But you're driving a $60,000 car. You like my man Dave Ramsey would say, man. You got too much car on you. You got too much car. It should never be over 50% of what you bring home in a year. You know, a lot of times people of color, what they do is they get a good job, they start making good money, and since the actual what am I trying to say here? Since the mindset is in when we come from not having a lot, when you have something nice, that shows everybody else you're successful.
Yeah.
But I found that to be only relegated to people of color.
I mean, when I first got out of school, I got a Dodge Challenger, bro. I mean, it's not a Benz, but you know, when people see them Challengers, they be like, when I was in farm school, every time I would see one, I'm like, I'm getting that car when I get out. And it had nothing to do with that I couldn't afford it. It was just the fact that, you know, that I really need it.
Yeah.
I was thinking more so as a consumer. And even now, like, I could still have one, but my thought process about it will be different.
It's
different
what I'm saying? Because you're in the building wealth mindset instead of being a consumer. Guess what dude, the first car I bought was an Acura. I think it was a CL. And I went car crazy. The next car was a Mercedes E500 with the push button start. And I was like, and my wife had a Cadillac CTS. So we were really car heavy. Really car heavy. And the next two cars we bought another Cadillac, an STS, and an M35 Infiniti. We were really car heavy.
I don't think people understand, especially being in Texas, I don't think people understand that the expense that a Cadillac is, even in comparison to Benz and BMW, Cadillac is up there.
Yeah, it's
like
up
people,
there.
I don't think people understand that, especially the maintenance.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. Cost of ownership. When you're thinking about building wealth and you go out there to buy a car, you can't just look at the car's sticker price. You have to look at the cost of ownership over the life of that vehicle. I'm talking about service. I'm talking about maintenance. I'm talking about if you need brakes on a Mercedes, dude, I had an E500. Man, you need brakes on a Mercedes? It's gonna run you $1,500.
I don't even like getting brakes for the F-150.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have Schedule C, Schedule D. Man, you're gonna ask my wife about that. Every time we be driving in the Mercedes, you get past like 15,000 miles. You drive another 10,000 miles. Schedule D, Schedule D, Schedule D, Schedule C, Schedule C, and you take it to the dealership, and they're like, "Yeah, man, we need to change your oil and your fuel filter. That's gonna be $950." So it's like the cost of ownership plays a very large part in building wealth for the future. So you have to think about these things. What I want to tell everybody out there is that when you look at the big picture, a car is a depreciating asset. It doesn't appreciate. You should let some. Me personally, now I never buy new cars at all. Never. No. I get me a good used car. right?
I mean, unless you can buy that joint cash, that's always the number one goal.
Yeah, that's
If you can buy
always
it.
the number one
That's
goal.
what Dave Ramsey said.
Yeah, if you can,
I don't necessarily agree with it because I just feel like that's not realistic.
but
you know,
if you can buy that joint cash, then you're really doing good. But I let somebody else take that hit in depreciation, you know, and I get the car, you know, and I go from there. Because when you drive that car off the lot, speaking of Big Sean, there you go. Sorry y'all, I got sidetracked. He in his Yeezys.
yeah, man.
Shout out to Revolt TV because that's what he's on right now.
Big Sean said, he said on this last album that he was in the game for, you know, however many years, and he was like, I just started getting money.
Yeah, because that's the mentality that a lot of millennials, a lot of people of color, they see people on TV and they say, "Oh, he's on TV, he's a multi-millionaire." You know, but just like you said, Big Sean just said he's just now getting money.
He did the math and he was like, "It's one me. I got two brothers. I got one mom. I got 200 people that don't like me because I can't give them no money." Like, it was crazy.
You look at it, man. The rapper, the entertainer, they have to pay for healthcare. They have to pay for all the same stuff that we have to pay for, right? And they have to pay taxes as well. So you hear these people, "Oh, I'm getting 10 G's a show. I'm getting 20,000 a show." Guess what? Uncle Sam gonna want 8 of that. If you get 20,000. Uncle Sam is gonna want about 8 of that. Then your manager is gonna want 15 to 20%. Then you have to pay your entourage. Then you have to pay for your actual show. After that 20,000 is reduced. Maybe you take home about 5,000 after the expenses.
One thing I'll give to him is that Big Sean said Yeezy always makes it known, like, if you notice, them cats don't ever put out mixtapes, dude. None of them cats on good music putting out a mixtape. And he was like, because you need to monetize off your stuff. Like, he's like, I'm just being honest. Like, we ain't playing that game.
We ain't playing that I'm giving away stuff for free game.
Yeah. That's they do a mixtape, it ain't like Wayne where you dropping one after the other.
Well, you know what? I have this crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, Currency, we mentioned his name earlier. Currency, he signed the whole 360 deal, according to Dame. Yeah. I don't know his finances.
I think Dame is right.
But Currency was notorious for dropping a mixtape 2 or 3 a year.
Yes.
This Pilot Talk 3 just came out. When the last Currency tape you really seen come out? It might have been a year, bro. Like,
yeah, I don't remember, man.
He ain't been dropping it. Not saying that that's a knock to him, but I'm just saying the way it is, they like, no, we gonna monetize off you, player.
Yeah, like, Warner Brothers is like, you gotta monetize off this.
Yeah.
Because what Currency was doing was dropping free music and getting paid off the live show.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a theory that they get paid off mixtapes as well. Because if you go to datpiff.com, it's full of advertisements. You can't tell me there's no profit sharing going on behind the scenes.
But what about some of the cats with the I know we on a tangent, y'all, but
what about
like the low key artists? I feel like they probably gotta pay to get their stuff on there.
They do. So they have to pay to get their stuff on that Piff and livemixtapes.com or have your video on WorldStar. But then the big draw, like say a Lil Wayne, I just don't believe Lil Wayne is giving Dat Piff and Live Mixtapes free music. Like, here, just put this out so I can tour on it. I think he's like, yo, I'm gonna drop my mixtape. I'm gonna put it on your site. You're gonna get a massive flood of people coming to your site. This is how much you're gonna charge advertisers for that, and this is how much I need for me to do that. I truly believe that's what they do, because it wouldn't make financial sense. And if you're not doing that, Lil Wayne, you just got a gym. That's how you can make money. That's how you can.
I heard they worked it out, man. That's what I'm hearing. And Turk was on the Breakfast Club the other day.
Yeah, Birdman came up off that cash.
He was like, man, we just wasn't getting paid. This was like my father. And he was like, we just wasn't paying us.
Yeah, man. I think Cash Money is notorious for doing that. And I don't see why. I don't know. I'm not in that camp, so I can't really comment on it. But I don't see why you wouldn't pay your artist, man. It's like, why wouldn't you pay your artist? Maybe there's something behind the scenes that we don't know, but I think and I truly believe Birdman really does care for like Lil Wayne. I just think he's in this mind state where like I done all this for you or something like that, you know? Because I don't believe you can raise somebody from that young and not have any feelings inside of you for that person. But yet indeed, Lil Wayne had to sue him to get his get his money that was owed. So.
Yeah. So back to the marriage and finance.
Yeah.
All right, we said we was gonna do something, so we gotta do it.
We gotta do it. Back to the money and finances. So like we were saying earlier, you wanna actually do a when you're going into a relationship, right? So you want a clear picture of who you're getting into the relationship with. You also want to have a financial plan. You don't necessarily have to sit down at the table on your first date and say, this is where we're going, this is where we're going here. But you guys kind of need to be on the same road. Like, okay, if you want to say, I want to buy a house within 5 years. So we need to get on the same financial plan. Or I want to be this where in 5 years. I want to be here in 5 years. I want to be there in 5 years. Or I want to be here or there or here or there, all in between. Within 5 years, both of you guys need to get on that same wave and ride that wave out.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're gonna be scatterbrained. Just like that thought was, I did that intentionally to say all those words so people be like, yo, what is Carter Park talking about? Yeah, because if you don't get it together, then that's what you're gonna sound like. You're gonna sound all scatterbrained.
See, my wife and I, we actually there's a brokerage firm called Betterment, and actually that's gonna be in our 10 apps in 10 days segment. We started this
10
week.
Apps in 10 days.
We're going to talk about Betterment on Tuesday, but we actually decided to, and I've talked with a couple other people, going to use it as somewhat of an investing savings account. So basically, we have an amount in our savings account now, and we're like, okay, we're going to continue to put money in. Once we hit a certain limit, like if it's like $1,000, $500, whatever we choose, we're going to invest that amount of money. We're going to put it into that account.
Okay, and
you see what I'm saying?
And let that money
so we're going to have the same
money.
amount in our savings account, essentially. But once we hit a certain amount from the savings, we're going to add that in there and let it run. So we deposit some in. We opened the account on Wednesday, deposited some in, and actually it's already up $2 when it closed on Friday.
So you made $2.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may say, hey, that's not a lot of money.
But how much is your savings account getting
in
a year?
Yeah, in a year.
10 years.
In 10 years, yeah. You probably you probably made more than your savings account made in the last 6 months.
And this came really with no effort. They have a plan. You can have a build. They have 3 options, or you can make your own. They have a built wealth plan, a safety net, and then a retirement plan. And basically, a built wealth plan is mostly stocks with a little bit of bonds. A safety net is mostly bonds and a little bit of stock. And retirement is kind of like a mix between the both. But you can change those allocations. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And so
can you randomly change the allocations? Like
I can change it right now. Like right now, I chose the built wealth, but instead of 90-10 with stocks and bonds, I did 80-20.
Okay, yeah, we're getting kind of technical. So let me break this down for the people, right? So this account holds different investment vehicles, right? And what we're saying is when you can reallocate funds, let's say the mutual funds aren't doing that well and the stock portion is, you say, well, let me reallocate and move, say you got 49% in mutual funds and 51% in stocks. Let's say, okay, let me move 20% more of those mutual funds because they're not doing that well over here to the stocks because the stocks are doing that well. That was a quick synopsis of allocation. Go.
So yeah, so I wanted to do it. I didn't want to be quite 90-20. So I dropped it to 90-10. So I dropped it to 80% stock, 20% bonds. And the way it works is they actually use ETFs. So you're going to have stock ETFs or bond ETFs. And ETFs are just exchange traded funds. If you're not familiar with them, check out our video on mutual funds where at the end we actually talk about exchange traded funds and what they are. They're pretty similar to mutual funds, but they trade like a stock. So, you can actually buy an ETF for, $70, $50, whatever it's trading at that time. Yeah. But within the ETF, it can have 20 or 30 stocks or bonds, within there.
They're built, they are built with securities, I don't want to say they're like a mutual fund though.
Well, I say it's like a mutual fund in that it's a grouping of securities together.
Well, Hip Hop Doc said it, so
That's why I say that. It's because a mutual fund, in essence, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a
so-
grouping. Except with an ETF, you're not pulling from several different investors. It's your own thing.
Yeah.
Buying the ETF itself.
Yeah, so-
But if you're a little timid on, I don't want to buy JCPenney's, Nordstrom, or let me say, I want to buy JCPenney's, Nordstrom, Macy's, Dick's Sporting Goods, a couple of these retail places.
Yeah.
Well, why don't I just buy a retail ETF instead that owns all of them?
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's like a mutual fund because it has several securities in it, but it kind of gives you a way to play it a little safe because you don't know how you want to allocate the funds. Or you want to invest in so many different things, but maybe the ETF is $70, but all those stocks that you want to invest in might be $700.
Yeah.
So it's just another way for you to invest.
Yeah, so I didn't want to put it like that, but the Hip Hop Stock Doc broke it down so well. He did it so well. So when you have that, so let's go back to the relationship and finance. That's something you and your wife done, right?
Yeah, we decided. I pitched the idea, but I wasn't like, I'm just gonna do this and this is what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I said,
'cause that wouldn't result
I
in
said, I think that we got money in
fail.
our savings account. Honestly, it's not doing anything for us.
Yeah.
And to be real, when you invest, your money is fairly liquid, where you can get it out in a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, it ain't like you own a house and you gotta wait for closing and all this other stuff.
3
Like,
days.
you can get it out pretty quick.
T+3.
So it was like, why don't we just put the money in, treat it like a savings account, but it is an investment account, and we're not even running it. I just chose to Build Wealth plan, and they already have it set up by what stocks and what bonds they chose, and it's being ran by them.
And it gives you the opportunity to reallocate if needed.
Yeah, so if we want to change it to where instead of 80-20, we want to drop it to 70-30 next year, because a lot of times what they say is as you get older, you should decrease the riskier investments such as stocks and increase the safer investments such as bonds. And so basically it's like we're at 80-20, so maybe in a couple years we'll decrease it to 70-30, and then a couple years to 60-40, like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just open a new retirement fund and still have two different ones.
With the latter going to the safer investment.
Yes.
So when he says 60, so we'll drop it from 60. We'll drop it from 80-20
to 70-30.
70-30. The latter will be going to the safer investment, i.e., let's say it's bonds in this case.
Yeah. I just say the stocks and bonds because that's what they choose in this particular firm.
Yeah.
It's stocks and bonds.
Yeah, man. So so I know we kind of got off on a tangent, but I really enjoyed this episode, and I enjoyed us talking about everything that we talked about, and sit down with your potential partner and figure out a financial plan, where you want to be within a certain amount of time, where your financial partner is at. Yes, I said financial partner because they're going to be your financial partner as well as your life partner as well. Sit down, whether you're married or not married. You may have kids together. You may have situations vary, but if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, knowing their finances and knowing where you guys want to go and having a financial roadmap is paramount into a successful relationship. And people of color out there, when you look at the statistics and you see that, 32% African Americans are married, and you have to take into account 50% of that will end in divorce. Over finances. So wow, that's you drop down to like 16%, right? And let me tell you this, right? 2 incomes are always better than 1. And if you're married, which is like the Hip Hop Stock Doc said, it's a gift from God. It's a bond, right? And you get a helper. You get a helper, right? You get a helper in as money coming in, but there are tax breaks. If you own a home, right? Are you guys homesteading?
Explain that.
Homesteading is a tax exemption when you,
I think
you use you use that when you buy a home.
Because you got to fill out like that form.
You fill out the form.
Yeah,
you take it up to your tax office and you homestead. Right. So if there are any married couples out there right now and you're not homesteading, you should homestead. It's quick. It's simple. It's easy. I think it took me 5 minutes to fill out the form. Mm-hmm. And you can go to your tax office and you can say, hey, I want a homestead. And your spouse doesn't have to be there. If you own the house 50-50, either one of you can sign it. And it varies from different states, but most states, they let you homestead. And you get, your taxes are lower. Your taxes are lower. Yeah. And even if I think you got a couple of, maybe like a month, I think you can still do it for 2014, and they'll send a refund back to you if you overpaid in your taxes. And if you have an escrow account, they'll refund your escrow account. How good is that?
But that escrow shortage surplus stuff will come back, man.
Yeah. So if you have a shortage,
but we had a surplus, man. They about to drop that mortgage. What?
We did too. Yo, we had a surplus. Our mortgage dropped.
This is what happens when you get married. You get excited about a surplus in your escrow.
We definitely had that. We got our mortgage statement, and they were like, your mortgage is about to be lowered because of this. And I was like, thank God.
And you know what? With the surplus that we won't be paying in our mortgage payment every month, we gonna pay some off or invest.
Yes, that's right.
That's what it. It ain't. Let's go to forego the child. Like, that's not what that means.
Let's go to Neiman Marcus.
That's not what that stuff means.
Let's get a new Furler bag or some Bond number 9. I'm throwing those things out because those are the things that my wife likes. So when she hears this podcast, she can stay away from those kind of things. Furler bags and Bond number 9. But yeah, man, we use that extra to invest in other things, man. Mm-hmm. We're gonna actually put ours into
tax season. That's what I'm sorry to cut you off. It's tax season. That's what y'all need to do. If you're getting a refund,
just don't blow that money.
If you're getting a refund, you need to pay your tithes. You need to pay something off, and you need to invest.
And if you can, donate a little to charity.
Yeah, whatever you got to do.
Because you know what? When you donate a little to charity, guess what you get? A tax write-off.
Boom.
You
got to do something, but don't think you about to get $3,000 and you like, I'm about to go get them Louboutins out here. Like, that's not what's going to happen.
Feet gonna be on fleek.
And you're going to be sitting at home in them Louboutins like, dang, I can't even get to the club, man.
Man, these things didn't even make me any money. Look at my feet. And I scuffed all the red off the bottom.
Man, I know a girl, she lives in LA. She was saying she's seen Louboutins at TJ Maxx, bro. Like, they was still like $600, but that was a sale compared to what they are in the regular stuff.
Yeah, she sees some Louboutins at TJ Maxx.
Yeah, bro.
What they doing that?
Manolo? Like, but I guess it's LA though.
LA is a different animal, man. It's a whole different animal. LA is like Sasquatch and the abominable snowman mixed in one. It's all that together.
LA is nice though, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice out there.
It's a totally different animal. But all those things that we just mentioned are things that you can benefit from, and Eric said a thing that I think a lot of people can benefit from when he said pay your tithes, man. Wow, if we all could give to something that's helping someone else, that's a great thing, man, because I pay my tithes online, son. Eric turned me on, man. He's like, man, you should pay your tithes online.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm sorry. Like, you get PayPal, I'm paying online.
I'm paying. I paid it online. I didn't even have to do it through my PayPal.
Dude, when I get paid on Friday, I'm at work. That's the first thing I do before I pay any bill. I pay my tithes online.
Just hit the button and it's gone, and then we'll work it out from the rest of the way. But like if your Louboutin game is on fleek and you're driving that S-Class out there and you haven't invested in yourself, it might be hard for you to pay your tithes because you're like, where do I get the extra money? But hey, 4 or 5. What were we saying in the first podcast? People spend average on $6 at Starbucks.
Yeah,
a day.
Yeah, man.
$6 a day at Starbucks.
That's
man.
Starbucks. That ain't everything throughout your day. That's Starbucks.
That's Starbucks. Average on what? I think it was $150 a week.
Yeah,
frivolous spending.
It was 100 to 100. That was what most people fell in. Some was a little bit less, some was a little bit more, but most people spend $100 to $150 on non-essential items.
That means frivolous spending. That means just stuff like, I'm gonna stop here and get a hot dog or a slice of pizza, or I'm gonna splurge on lunch today. Let's go eat here, or that was that kind of stuff. But on that note, we're gonna shut this one down. So, relationships. Financial plans. I said that in threes for a reason, and you guys will find out a little bit later. But three is the magic number. Ain't that right, E? He's smiling over there because he already know what I got cooking.
Hey, I'm a Kappa, so all good things come in threes. So.
And on that note, man, we are out, man. Live life, love God. That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.